back. This is This a Pickleball Podcast? I'm your host, Matthew K. Pickleball. I am joined today by my esteemed colleague, Mr. Wilson. Wilson, how are you doing today on this hot Los Angeles day?
It's hot. I think it's gonna get even hotter this weekend though, but I am glad to be back. We've had a little break, so I'm glad to get things rolling again. How are you
Yes,
doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Wilson demanded that I leave the country for a little while to give him some rest and relaxation. But he has been working hard at the pickleball courts, testing out paddles, and we're going to talk all about it. And I know, Wilson, folks are excited about that because, I've been away, but then I came back. I took a little break.
Sometimes a break is nice, you know?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I picked the perfect month, the July August month when every big paddle at known to man was released. But I took a break and then I come back. I read through some of the comments and Wilson, people are still saying I talk too much on these podcasts. So
No.
so you better be ready. It's all on you today. But
Okay.
but before I hand the microphone over, a few little housekeeping items. Folks, I've been away, so I have not had a chance to run all the giveaways. And so there are still a ton of giveaways. I'm probably going to be catching up on that in the next few days. But right now, we've got a PaddleTech GTOC, a Dinkaroo Mini Net, a Honolulu Next Gen paddle, one of those NF paddles or that FC Plus, the ones everyone loves. And then the famous or infamous Honolulu J4K. And by the time this is, probably a little after this is posted, I will have had a chance to post my Carbon True Foam Genesis 4 review. And I am giving away one of those paddles, folks. Never given away one of the True Foams on the channel. And I don't think there are a lot of True Foam giveaways. So hopefully people will watch it since it's coming out a month or two after it's released. But I tried to get it in before the big trip and I failed. I failed to get that review done. But it is written. I'm going to record it soon and hopefully that will be up. But Wilson, while I've been away, messing around, going to where there's absolutely no pickleball.
Did you at
And
least try looking?
I did, but there's no pickleball where I was. You did the opposite. You were testing paddles, you were taking notes, but you even ran a Moneyball. And so
Yes.
I thought for the first segment, I wanted to just hear how that went and then maybe talk me through some lessons you learned because I'm sure some folks that tune into this podcast would be interested in doing something similar. Or I know when I'm bumping around out here in LA, there are always people trying to put together little tournaments because we know some of the bigger tournaments, those fees are skyrocketing. And so I think we're just going to see more, sort of I don't know if I wouldn't call it ragtag, but like some smaller tournaments put together by just people that want to have some organized play. And so, how'd your Moneyball go? And then any lessons learned?
Yeah. So I hosted a money ball. It was an open money ball. Um, and I think it went really well, except for the fact that the first weekend of like the heat wave was when I decided to have it. Um, so I hosted it at a public court, one of our local courts. At the beginning, we rotated with the public. We, paddled up. I gave people their assignments, and then they paddled up together, and then they waited in the queue like everyone else. But within like the first or second round of the round robin, um, it people started leaving because it got kind of hot. So it was basically only us, which was great, right? Um, and yeah, I the reason why I I ran a money ball was like you said, a lot of tournaments are getting kind of expensive for what they are. 70, $80
Mm-hmm.
dollars per event, and you get a T-shirt and maybe a medal if you're good enough. And then the open divisions usually cost even more than that because you're playing for money. So then those are like over $100. And yeah, I wanted people to. I personally, I'm selfish. I made the money ball for myself because I wanted some good challenges and.
All right, folks,
Uh,
did you hear that? Mr. Wilson was trying to, he was a shark out there. And you wouldn't believe this. I was going to open play, folks. And by the way, please note, everyone, Wilson decided to host his Moneyball tournament when I was out of town. He didn't want Matthew K. Pickleball showing up and stealing the thunder. He wanted to be he wanted his fair shot at that bag of money. And I had people coming up to me left and right. Did you hear about Wilson's Moneyball? Did you sign up? And it was the talk of the town before I left. But before you go into the next part, just for folks that maybe don't know what a Moneyball is, like how does that tournament what's that style? Like how does it
yeah.
work?
So it's up to you, up to the tournament director, the Moneyball director. For me, it was a round robin. I limit the group to 14 teams. You can make it as cheap or as much as you want. I made it $20 a team, nice and simple. And I made a limit of combined duper of 8.99 or below, just to make it so that, Annalie Waters or Ben Johns don't show up and take everyone's money away, right?
Hey, and Ben's local now, so that's very possible.
Yeah. Wait, is he? Is he in California now?
Yeah, I mean he joined the LA Pro team, didn't he?
Those MLP teams, it doesn't mean they're actually here.
Oh, I saw
Yeah.
him. He went to he was playing with Right Side Will the other day. They were having a
Oh,
good
was he?
time. So,
Oh, that's cool. I'll
yeah,
have to look that up.
and I'm showing my cards. So I don't know if he lives here, folks, but he's playing for the team.
Mhm.
But I'll show my cards a little bit because aside from being a pickleball aficionado, I am a reality TV aficionado. And
Mm.
before pickleball was a thing, I'm not going to name the show or anything like that. That's too revealing. But he popped up into a reality TV show and was like a private. It's a long. He he I think is touching the LA scene even prior to this. Before pickleball was a big deal. Before the pandemic, he was out here in LA doing some stuff. So I don't
Mm.
know if he's. Yeah, I have no idea if he has a connection to SoCal, but
I'm
maybe we
gonna have
should
to
ask
talk to you about that after the pod or something.
after the pod. I'll tell you all
Yeah.
my reality TV stuff. But anyway, so Ben, he didn't show up. The pros didn't show up because that
Yeah.
duper limit. So you set that
Yeah.
duper limit, and so yeah, so
Yeah.
you filled the roster, I believe, right?
Yeah, I filled it up really quick within a week. I kind of I released the application like 2 weeks in advance, and it was filled up within 1 week, which was awesome. That means people are interested and excited for stuff like this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I ran out of court so that I can save on fees, and all the money went straight back to the first, second, and third place winners. And to be fair, I mean, I didn't even make it to the playoffs. I got knocked out in the round robin.
Oh,
Um,
Wilson. Wait. Before you tell
mm,
us tournament lessons, then, or
yeah.
how to run it, what what'd you learn? Like, what happened? What'd you get beat by? What was it? Did you not do your stretches? I know you're not doing your
No,
stretches before you play.
I felt great. I just mentally got burnt out, and I just made too many unforced errors. I made more unforced errors than my opponents.
You you
That's really
know
it.
you had an unfair disadvantage though because I'm someone that runs an event. Like you're dealing with all the housekeeping, all the stuff prior. Like it's not really fair that you're like
Yeah.
you have a little bit of a because you're got split mind. You want it to run correctly. You're the one that has to answer questions. So we're gonna give you a pass for your
Thank you.
massive Moneyball fail.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
but no, congratulations for competing.
Thank you.
Everyone's a winner if they show up. So
Yeah. But I think overall everybody had a good experience. There were some underdogs that showed up. There was a 14-year-old who got fourth place, which was really impressive out of 14 teams. And yeah, I was just gonna say something. I'm totally brain farting
Well,
right now. But
didn't our mutual friend sweep the whole thing?
Eric,
Yeah, didn't Eric
yeah,
take away first?
yeah, he did. Eric and another Matt. You probably know them all from Allendale. They
Matt, like close to our age?
no, no, he's
Different Matt.
he's
All
a
right,
little
all right.
older than us. Yeah,
Okay,
but
okay.
if you saw a photo of him, you would probably know
Yeah.
exactly
So
who he was.
so what
But
Eric do? Just rip balls at everybody? Eric, if you're listening, I know
no,
your MO.
he was pretty good. Finals, he was just very consistent. It's all about consistency, really. In tournaments, you don't do anything flashy or fancy. You just get the ball over, keep it unattackable, and you're gonna pull out on top.
And
But if
folks,
anybody is interested, just go to my YouTube channel. You can see my games, the semifinals, and the finals, just to get a feel of
yeah.
what some SoCal sub 8.99 duper players are like, you know?
And folks, I always link on the Pods Wilson's YouTube channel. Throw him a subscribe. Get some eyeballs. He posts gameplay footage, and I will note Eric, I believe, was playing with the Carbon True Foam. And folks, I got a video all about that. I believe he was using one of the elongated ones. Check that video out, and then wait for the other review about the new hybrid. You could win one of those, but it seems like a
Hmm.
pretty lethal weapon, especially for those folks with tennis backgrounds. What ball
Yep.
were you playing with?
So also to keep things super cheap and so that all the money went back to all the players. Everybody provided their own balls. I just recommended that it be Franklin X40s, and everybody provided their own water and snacks so that all the money went back to the players.
Good. Well,
Yeah.
and so were there any other sort of lessons, anything that you would do differently if you ran an event, or any advice for someone trying to put together a little money ball or a mini tournament?
Yeah, so it's actually really simple nowadays. You can create Google Sheets and Google Forms online, and you can share it with all the participants. There are also websites where you can throw in names and teams, and it'll generate a round robin and randomize everything for you, which is great. I thankfully had a friend, John Vo Pickleball. He was able to generate a Google sheet with all the draws and the round robin, um, and we were able to plug everything in, and it will tell me what the scores and everything is. So that was great. But one thing I would recommend is that I would try next time, which was recommended to me, was that to use ChatGPT to make the draw a little more fair. For me, even though I randomized everything, one pool was a little more higher duper rated than the other pool. So I was told that maybe I can throw in all the names or all the teams and their dupers and say make it more fair or even and see what ChatGPT does. So, I might give that a try next time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been seeing folks use ChatGPT to help them in life, and I'm actually thinking about using ChatGPT to maybe run some of my giveaways because I keep using random websites to do the giveaways, but like there have been repeat winners and stuff, and like I think like how random is it if like the same person wins, you know? So I've
You,
seen
you
some
got to go
people.
back to the old paper and a hat.
Bro, do you know how long that would take me?
I,
I am
how
not
many?
doing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
There's no way I'm doing paper raffles. But all right, very cool. So it sounds like some of the stuff you took away is don't be afraid to use Google Sheets and Google Forms
Yeah.
to sort of those are sort of yeah, they're free, right? If you have a Google
Yep.
account, it's free. So use that to sort of get all the paperwork done, and then don't be afraid to maybe use Chat GPT to sort of even out your pools, because I also
Mhm.
experienced that at the nerdy tourney. There were the yeah, it'd be nice even if you're like doing this duper limit, like maybe maybe have a little AI. I mean, a little
Assistance.
AI glance to even things out. But very
Yeah.
cool. Well, congratulations. I'm sorry you didn't win, Wilson. I'll help you drill some, and maybe you'll be have a better shot next
Hopefully
time.
we'll try the my next money ball.
Yeah, but and let's just keep chugging along because I know you got a lot of stuff to tell folks. But before we go too far ahead, Wilson, we haven't done this in a while. It's time for a fit check. What do you think about today's look? What do
I
you
like
think?
that baseball style, I guess quarter sleeve or jersey. Is
Yeah,
that what
it's
it's
the
called?
3/4 length
There
sleeves.
you
Yeah,
go. There you go. I like that.
and so
What
this
hat are you
is
wearing?
CripsyDinks and the shirts from CripsyDinks, and they're a new pickleball apparel company that I stumbled upon. And you know what I like about them?
Mm.
They have pickleball related clothing that is actually cool. So a lot of pickleball clothing that's like pickleball themed is like, oh, would I want to wear that out and about? Not so sure. But this brand, their design is on point. They've got the multi-panel hat, and then they have some pretty cool clothing. This is just from my clothesline. Please ignore that. I just washed it before the pod. But yeah, I like their designs. And the real test for this is my girlfriend, who hates me getting all this pickleball stuff in our small apartment. I showed her the shirts that Crispy Dinks sent for me to test out, and even she liked them. And she's very resistant to like say, "Oh, that's so cool, Matthew," because she hates seeing all the packages arrive. But this little cute chicken, she couldn't resist smiling and saying that was cool. So check them out. Promo code Matthew K will save you 15% over there. And that's the fit check. And we're
Nice.
done with that segment. So we're going to chug along. Before we get into having you tell us what's up with what you've been testing, there's some paddle alerts, bro. Bro, I've gone freaking every company that launches a paddle. And the one that I wanted to talk about really
Ooh.
quickly, what do you see this little guy? You see this
That's the
little guy?
Loco, right?
Yeah, this just looks like the Loco, huh? But this ain't the Loco that you and I know. This is a brand new version. This is Bread and Butter's full foam take, and they are taking the old Loco moniker, the old Loco name, and they are utilizing it for a brand new line of paddles, full foam paddles. It's coming in 3 different shapes, and bro, people are loving these. And this isn't the final design. This is like a test model, I believe. They've made it look really cool. And this came literally, I think, the day I left. No. It actually came after I left for my trip. But the reviewers have been hitting with these. People are loving these. I'm hearing contention for paddle of the year. So I'm gonna get this set up. You and I should both hit with this. But the big thing that is really exciting to me is before promo code, these are $200. So after promo code Matthew K, these are even less than 200. And that I think is competitive with the foam paddles coming out right now. I'm sure there are some that are under 200, but that is super competitive. And that's the one thing some of Bread and Butter's releases, they've never been able to edge into that like best value paddle, that bargain price paddle category super easily because their costs seem a little higher. They've got the packaging, they've got the branding, but they figured out a formula, and this one is competitive for the foam paddles. This is right up there with the Honolulus.
I think although they're not budget friendly per se, they're always within reason. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like absurd or super crazy high or
Yeah.
anything.
Bread and Butter's
Yeah.
never done a $333 paddle. I don't think they've ever gone over the $200 price point for a non-foam paddle, but they never did like, the one they never made like my top budget paddle of the year. However, in the foam paddle category, this is about as budget as you can get. That $200 is a great budget price for the foam paddle category, which are just higher price. And so that's what I mean. But yeah, they've always had. I think they've always been at the top of budget, and then you have the more expensive paddles, if that makes sense. And so I'm excited to see them. And actually, I think they've lowered prices on some of their other paddles. Like if you look at their new their updated filth paddles, for example, those are more budget. I can't remember the price off the top of my head, but yeah, they definitely, I think, as they've continued releasing paddles, have been more conscious of like people are looking for the bargains. And so I'm excited to see how this hits. Folks are loving it. Promo code Matthew K. And I will say the release, this is kind of a complex release on it. But I did want to just highlight, because we were chatting about this already. So this is a floating core foam paddle, like the way the boomstick is. And I believe it has the polypropylene in its handle, like the boomstick. And so that is different from Honolulu's FC Plus, which has a single piece of foam in the center running down. And so the FC Plus is diving board, the boomstick, the new Locos, those are floating. And so I am excited to hit with them. I think I might be. I won't say that just yet. But we're gonna hit with this. We're gonna circle back. And speaking of Honolulu, one other paddle alert. We kind of teased this on the last podcast, but this happened, I think, the day I left for my trip. I got Honolulu's new NF paddles. They have the J3, so Honolulu standard. They've got the J2 NF, but this is the long handle, I believe. Yeah, this is the long handle. Oh, that's interesting. They removed the X from the name. But so you have the J2 NF with the long handle, which I think you might like. And then they have the J7 NF. So Honolulu has dropped their new shapes in the J2 in the NF line, and so I'm excited to hit with these because I've always been a fan of the NF paddles, or the J3 shape. I've got that on the I've got a whole breakdown of the previous ones, and that's always been, I feel, an underrated paddle for them, or a less talked about paddle, because the J2 just like is what everyone talks about. But the J3, the previous ones, those have been a little different. And if you check out my video on those, like some of those are like some hidden bangers. But the original J3 was like a great defense and it's a super value paddle. I think that's one of the ones that goes on super sale all the time. So I'm excited to see how the NF plays. And then I'm also curious, of course, curious about the J2 NF with the extended handle, because I don't think I've done a dedicated review on that style, on that shape. But basically, like, it's got room for the two hands, which a lot of people want. So excited about that. But then the J7 NF is the one I'm really excited about because, I've only spent a little bit of time with the J7 shape. I've got a video on that of the previous versions, but it's time to really test out all the shapes, and it will be nice to have them all from like around the same time of the release. Because I think the J3 in particular, maybe not the J3, but the Honolulu does, like all paddle companies, they adjust as they do batches. And so it will be nice to sort of compare them all from like around the same time that they've all dropped. And so which of these are you most excited about, Mr. Wilson?
I'm actually surprisingly, I'm more excited about the J2 long handle.
J2 long handle. All
Yeah,
right. All right. Well,
excited to try that out.
on that note, I was going to say, Mr. Wilson, I've been
Hmm.
away, and I snuck out the other day during the heat wave to play a little bit of open play because we got a session
Nice.
scheduled for tomorrow.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't want to be total trash. Uh, I was total trash at open play. I started
No.
off, no, I was. I started off, I am trying to, like, as I was leaving, I was in the midst of playtesting the new Gearbox paddles, which I've really been enjoying. And so I just picked up my bag. Like, usually I have like a whole strategy, but I was just dipping into open play and I was getting there late in the day because I did Buffy's walk, I was jet lagged, all this different stuff. I show up, it was rough. It was rough. And I was not playing with the best players. And I was embarrassing myself. And so what I ended up in my bag, I had the J2 NF. And so I switched to that because I was playing with the Gearbox elongated and it just, things were not going the way I wanted them to go. And because I was like, let me get some of this testing done so I can get that video, that video along. But I was wrecked. I was getting wrecked too. And so I pulled out the J2 and F. It happened to be in the bag. And all right, things are going better. Things are going better. Because I'm used to that. I'm used to Honolulu's paddles. And it's going fine. I don't think I was doing great, but it was going fine. And then in my other bag, because open play, I got two bags. After a game, I went to my other bag, and look what was sitting in there, but the J2H Plus. And I pulled the J2H Plus out. Ooh, baby! I was playing a lot better at that thing. And so I was having fun with the J2H Plus. Everyone knows. I just posted. Speak Pickleball just posted it. Like, it's that thing. No one hits with the J2H Plus, but that I love that paddle, and that's gonna be hard to be removed from my hand. Although the NF, I do pull it out more and more. And as I was just sort of like hinting at, like, I was playing pretty well with it, even though I don't have as many hours on it. So for tomorrow, I'm going to probably set up all the new NF paddles because I'm a little more used to Honolulu's, even the NF paddles. I feel they play a little closer to what I'm familiar with. And so hopefully I won't be trash tomorrow when we
No,
play.
you'll be fine. But make sure you set up that Loco. I know that's not my preferred shape. I still want to see how it feels like.
Okay, so the Loco
Um,
and these NFs, I'll have them ready.
but one thing I did you notice that Bread and Butter kind of totally skipped Gen 3s?
I did
Um,
notice that,
I
and
actually don't mind it because, Gen 3s have that issue of durability and all that stuff. So, going straight from thermoform to foam paddles might not even be a bad thing. You skip all that warranty stuff.
yeah, I'm excited about it. So actually, at the Nerdy Tourney, Doug, the owner of Bread and Butter, at one point threw like a nondescript paddle into Chris Olsen Pickleball Studios' hand, and it was one of the foam paddles. And so the backstory, I had to sign an NDA before I left about all this, and but now I'm free. And so yeah, the Loco, that foam paddle, they stumbled onto that, they perfected it, and they've got a whole strategy on how they're going to release it and do quality control. And so I do think, and they're really conscientious because I know people are always complaining about with like Honolulu pickleball, like how long the orders take and all that stuff. And I don't think Bread and Butter wants to have that vibe with their customers. I think they want everything to go smoothly. And so they've got a whole strategy and they really are staying behind this formula. They think it's super, super great. And so we're going to hit with it. We got one paddle. We're going to see what's what and circle back and talk about it on the pod. But yeah, it's super exciting. But you know what's else is exciting, Mr. Wilson?
What's up?
What are we testing right now? This segment is presented by SwiftNet. If you're looking for the best portable net you can get, check out SwiftNet. Promo code MatthewK will get you a deal with them. And Mr. Wilson, this segment is all yours because I haven't hit with anything. And so take it away. What you want me to tell you what to start with, or do you have an idea?
If you don't mind, I'll just run through the paddles I've
Run
been
through
using.
it, dude.
All
You're
right,
the
well,
host right now.
okay, all right. Uh, First off, though, it's not even a paddle, but I've been using the Lightning Loop almost every session. I use this. to warm up. Wait, do you have another one now? Huh?
All right,
Awesome.
folks. Lightning Loop heard Wilson and me complain
Yes.
about having to share one, and they're like, guys, we'll send you another. So, Wilson, that one is yours.
Thank
Enjoy.
you.
Our
Thank you.
massive, grumpy complaints were heard, and I'll be sure to leave a link. Right now, I don't think promo codes work, but if you use the Lightning Loop link in the description, you will get a discount. And so, yeah, take it away. You've been liking this still?
Yeah, so I use this at the beginning of every session, and honestly, if I play against lower level people, I just keep it on. It's a great workout. I feel like my hand speed has gotten a lot better. It's just like strength training. I don't like to cross train all that much, although I should. So this is kind of getting an arm workout, a weight, a resistant workout while playing pickleball. So if you guys are interested in this, it's like a baseball like weight. You know how people baseball players swing their bats with a weight. This definitely will help a lot with your hand speed. Any paddle, no matter how elongated or heavy it is, after you take this off, it's gonna feel awesome and like light as a feather. And what's next? Excuse me. My paddle of choice during my Moneyball was the Paco Evo 1. It's really good. I kind of chose this over the 11624. Although I did have it in the bag. Um, this has gotten softer. And I feel like it still had the power that I'm used to in an 11624 Rache, but this one just had that extra oomph in there. The Paco Evil, I would say, is definitely more powerful. Not necessarily more plush or anything, if that is what you're looking for. This is much poppier, powerful paddle than the 11624 Hirachi Pro Power.
Are you talking about the alpha or the
Sorry,
non-alpha?
the Alpha. Sorry,
Okay.
Alpha Pro. So yeah, I was using this for a while, but last minute I decided to do a little change, and I went with the Packle, and I don't regret it at all. I was still able to control it very well. It's definitely not the most powerful Gen 3 out there, but it's a little more powerful than the 11624. And when it was like 90 degrees out there with a Franklin X40, it gets kind of soft. So it's nice to have that little extra put away power. So this one is my current main right now. This is what I've been kind of going to when I am unsure of what to use. Next up, um, I have this Dynasty Foam Legend. I always get compliments on the graphics. It's very
Really?
unique. Yeah, they're like, "What is this?" And people call it Iron Man or alien-like. But I think the design could be a little better. But the paddle itself is it's definitely a power paddle. It's all foam. It's elongated. I don't know the current price point, but maybe Matt can put that in
Yeah,
the
it's definitely
description.
yeah, it's
But
definitely on the budget side if I remember right. Especially
good, yeah,
all of the paddles you've been testing are set up with promo code Matthew K. So
perfect,
definitely
perfect.
check that
So
out.
this is a great power, all foam power paddle. Um, I enjoyed this one very much.
Did
But
it
let's see.
remind you of because that one has
It,
been getting a lot of a bit of hype, and they're a pretty small company, and I believe they're close to us.
yeah, I
And
think they're Orange
so
County or something.
yeah, I think they're
Um,
nearby, and their paddles, all of them sort of have like a crazy look, as you were saying,
yeah.
and and so they are after promo code Matthew K. They are $175.50. So
Not bad.
definitely a pretty good deal on the foam paddle front. Yeah,
It's competitive.
yeah,
Yeah. It's I would say it is on par with the power of this V Core because I'm only comparing this
really.
because right now this is my main foam paddle that I can compare other foam paddles to, because
Okay.
this is what I have the most experience with. It's much more balanced, yet still about the same power. So it's kind of nice because this V7 long handle is, I would say, pretty head heavy, and probably too head heavy for the average person.
Well, how
So
would
this one.
how would you say with the if you remember the enhanced pickleball 4.5, how does it compare to that one? I know you
The
didn't hit them
enhanced is
side by
much
side.
more control oriented.
Okay.
It's not. I wouldn't say compared to all the other power foam paddles out there, it would not be considered a power paddle. It would be an all core foam paddle. Very
The
controllable,
enhance.
really nice. Yeah, the enhance
And what about this one? The one
4.5.
from the one
This
from
one is definitely
Dynasty.
much more powerful.
Okay.
This one needs a little more finesse. You need to have better touch than with the enhance. The enhance would be better for people who may not have the skill to control all the power. This one is definitely on the powerful side and may need like I said, more finesse in order to keep the ball in.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. What- since I didn't, get a Loco, I've been playing with this one, the WildThang. I really enjoy this one. This one's kind of nice because it gives me the plushness to me and of the Shogun, but the pop of the filth that I'm used to. So it's like a softer, more buttery feeling filth. I like this wild thing. I play with this pretty regularly. Sometimes it's just I don't need to pull out a Gen 3 paddle. It's not I kind of miss having the control and the reliability I have from Gen 2 paddles. So I really like going back to this every once in a while. But I'm
And so
sure a lot of people.
that was the bread and butter wild thing.
Yeah. And let's see, I've been playing around with these. These are kind of interesting. Warping Point. So this one is their neon, which is primarily a carbon fiber top layer, and then this is their what is this one? Aether. This one has Kevlar. But one cool thing about this one is that it's a 10 millimeter cell honeycomb. So if you don't want to or aren't able to get a hold of like a mark, R, what is it? An R2 shape, a hybrid
Right.
shape?
Their new one, yeah.
Their new one. This is a good option. I mean, this one was has that soft plush feeling because of the 10 millimeter cells, and it's in a hybrid shape, which is nice. And spin is really good on this. This is just a Gen 2, very controllable. I like this one. And then, of course, this is their version of a Gen 3. They call it a Gen 3, but what I found interesting is that there's no secondary foam. It is a floating core, according to their website. It's enclosed by one layer of foam, and it's honeycomb in the middle, but there is no outer ring horseshoe foam that you see in other Gen 3 paddles. So this is pretty interesting. It has the Gen 3 feel, but it doesn't have the same pop and power as the other um, Gen 3 paddles I've used. Like, for example, these two. Um, this one I actually like. If I don't get a Loco, and I might actually make this one of my regulars.
What is that?
This is the Luz Pro Cannon,
So this is the updated canon.
updated legal one. So one of the Luz Cannon was one of the few paddles that were delisted, I believe, right? Is
It's
that
a
the
little
term?
more complicated, but basically they had submitted they had they had to resubmit because my understanding is they had submitted a similarity submission, but it
Uh,
was actually a different paddle. So
I
basically, it was
see.
never it was never delisted in the sense because it was illegal power wise. It was
Hmm.
removed from the list because it hadn't been submitted properly. If I understand everything correctly.
I see. But yeah, this revised version, this newly legal listed version, um, it's definitely powerful. It's kind of fun to use. Um, but of course, this is Gen 3, so I don't know how many more hours I'll get out of this before if it core crushes, because that's the MO of Gen 3 paddles, right? Unfortunately, they break
Gosh,
in and then
Wilson,
they
what are
eventually
you
break
talking
down.
about?
I
Oh,
don't know.
you're like, I don't know. Like, obviously, this is not to interrupt this speed run of
Yeah.
reviews, but I definitely think, um, I think Gen 3 has its place. I
Mm,
think, in particular, the polypropylene feel
hmm.
has not been replicated by these foam paddles. And I see reviewers switching to foam paddles, and I'm actually touching a bit on this in my updated carbon true foam review. And I think it's interesting that in your Moneyball you use Franklin's, because I have been discovering that I think for the true foams as an example, I think they play better with harder balls. I don't love them as much with Franklin's. And I think a lot of the reviewers that have switched completely to full foam paddles play with the hard, stiffer, less flexible balls.
Hmm.
And and so I think as far as like longevity of paddles, I'm not sure folks are really playing with paddles over a year. Like the paddles, just there are too many new things coming out. And so durability, like personally, I've never crushed one. I know you have. I know folks that play with one paddle all the time are probably more likely to like break a paddle, but I'm not as convinced that the having a more durable paddle being a foam paddle is worth the trade-off of losing your honeycomb feel,
Well,
because the foam
I
feel is different.
I agree with you that they feel different. Foam feels different compared to honeycomb cores. And I agree that there is a place for honeycomb cores. However, as you can see in these two, this is the mark unmarked, which is currently the new one is called the 1X, I believe. Maybe you can look that
Their
up
names
later.
are so hard to keep
Yeah.
track. Yeah.
Um, but this is a Gen 2 and this Wild Thing is a Gen 2. Yet they create some pretty good amount of power in themselves, and they feel great. These two paddles, you'll see me at most open play with these, and of course I'll have my usual foam paddles, Gen 3 paddles, to play with and practice with. But I mean, these are Gen 2s, and I still use them.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. There is a place for honeycomb cores, and I do like them. It's just that when you want more power, when you start going towards the part of the spectrum of paddles, Gen 3 doesn't have the reliability, and then I guess people are just kind of skipping it and going straight to foam, right?
Yeah.
For
I definitely think it goes back to like knowing what kind of player you are. And I
Mhm.
personally think Gen 3 paddles are great options for folks that don't have a tennis background, that don't hang at the baseline, that don't have a big driving game, and really only want power on the occasional drive, like your serves, your serve returns, as well as activated power on putaways and
Mm.
occasional strong hits. But if you're someone that's blasting, like in doing power, like if you're all drive, full throttle, pedal to the metal all the time,
A
yeah, you're
banger.
gonna put more stress on a Gen 3 paddle. But if you're someone that is driving the game to an older style of play, and that's probably, to be honest, is probably someone that's not as tournament focused, because tournament focused players they're gonna, unless they're higher level, like closer to the probably 4-5-5, they're, if they're 4-3-5, if they're doing those tournaments, it's driving, driving, driving. And you gotta be good at it. And so, but if you're not, like, if you're at the other, if you're below that or above that, like, I personally don't think you really have to worry about driving all the time, because if you're super
Mm.
advanced, you're not blasting because everyone knows they can blast, so you are doing the chess game more. And if you're not really doing the tournament thing and you're just doing rec play, you have the opportunity to, like, play old school pickleball. And so I don't know.
But
Yeah,
one thing though about Gen 3, coming from a tournament player's perspective, is that you know how there's a break-in period and the paddle changes a little while the more you play. Um, the problem is that during tournaments, you kind of don't want it to change. You want to know what you're expecting.
sure.
And so when you sometimes you don't want it to break in while warming up or the day or two before the tournament. So then that kind of gets you to having like gets you to have to like buy two paddles or have one paddle that's partially broken in, kind of ready to be ready to go. It's kind of hard to have paddles that all play differently.
I
Because
hear that. I
yeah,
also think the break in, the change is more pronounced with folks that drive. So once
yeah,
again, probably
agreed.
tournament
Hmm.
people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, once again, that J2H plus, like, that has a very consistent feel for me once I've played with it, right?
Hmm.
And the biggest change with their paddles, with the plus line of Honolulu paddles, has less to do with the core breaking in and the surfaces softening up. So, like, the
Hmm.
Kevlar will soften up and become more plush. I'm experiencing that less with the H plus, which the carbon fiber. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's, I don't want to write off Gen 3. Um, but I see the trend of the reviewers in particular, who are, I think, for the most part, I feel they're mostly tournament oriented players, or at least that's the style of play that they're doing. But for listeners of this podcast, I don't know. I don't know who listens to this, but if you're, like, you can get some good deals on Gen 3 right now, and the foam paddles, they're $200. And Wilson, rewind, bro. Rewind back to our X-Pac days.
There you
Like, we
go.
would we would never have spent 175 on a paddle.
Mm-mm.
And so right now there are some deals to be had on Gen 3 while this foam battle is happening between the companies. So I say to folks, don't worry too much about this durability thing that you're hearing a lot of talk of, because we're not all Isaac Olsons, hitting balls through brick walls, all right? Like, our paddles, like, I will be surprised if a paddle breaks on me. And just check the warranties as well of whatever paddle you're looking at. But it's interesting. But you're right, Gen 2 paddles, there are some powerful ones too. The WildThang that you just talked about.
Hmm.
And I got to do a little bit of research on those WarpingPoint paddles myself,
Hmm.
because I am a little confused exactly as to exactly how they're designed. But all right, PSA is over about don't discount Gen 3s. Let's get back to this speed round, because I know you got a
Yeah.
couple more paddles to chat about.
Yeah, and one which I always get asked, and I really enjoy though overall is the ThriveFury.
So
Um,
this is the one I am really excited to test. That arrived right before I left, and so I need the lowdown. Wilson, am I
yeah,
gonna like this paddle? Tell me what's going on.
man, this one just felt awesome out of the box. Um, it it definitely is powerful. Number one, the sound that comes off of it, like even before it's broken in. I mean, it's not even broken. There's nothing. It's perfect right now. I've had two sessions on this, maybe 6 or so hours on this, and it still feels the same. The control is good, but the biggest thing is the power. The amount of power you get off of this it's a powerful paddle. And like I said in your Instagram, your chat group, if you're looking for like a Pro 4, a Yola Pro 4, but in a hybrid shape, this might be an option for you. Again, I keep mishitting it because I'm so used to an elongated shape that I always hit it pretty high above the sweet spot. So I have to remind myself to aim down here when I'm using this. But Dinks, even though this is a powerful paddle, it I guess it's because of the hybrid shape. It's very controllable at the net. What was that?
Wilson,
Hmm?
don't forget, you have a pack of flick weights. So if you want to
Yes.
lower that sweet spot, put a flick weight down
No.
in
Oh,
the
no, no,
butt
no.
cap.
The sweet spot is here. It's just that I'm so used to hitting over here. My balls
So
keep
you,
hitting over here.
so you couldn't use a flick weight to shift
No,
it
no, no. It,
up.
it just doesn't, because an elongated paddle, the sweet
Yeah, yeah,
spot's a little higher
right.
versus here. So
Hmm.
I am just personally just not used to hitting it further down as opposed to up here. That's it. No, no. It's actually really, I wouldn't say this is hybrid shape. So it's not very head heavy at all. It's very maneuverable. I don't have the packaging that came with it. But the cool thing about Thrive, like most people say, is that they measure each individual paddle and they give you the stats. I think the swing weight and twist weight and
Correct. Yeah.
the stationary, the
The
stock
static
weight,
weight. Yeah.
static weight. So that's a cool thing about this. And if you order it, you can, to a certain extent, request a certain range
Yeah, so you can
of
pick, like right
data.
now, you can pick on a 111 swing weight for this paddle, a 112, or a 113.
Yeah.
And so,
This is very light. It's very maneuverable. I do like hybrids at the net. I mean, I can flick this around like no tomorrow. But yeah, this is something to try out, and I'm excited for you to try it out. You know,
yeah,
if yours is not, if yours is not set up or anything, you can just grab this tomorrow
well, your
and tell me what
handles
you
are
think.
always so weird. But
What do you
yeah,
mean? It's one grip. It's
but you
not
like do
fat.
like 8 inches down on the butt. Like it's so thick
Oh,
down there. But yeah,
well,
I want to set mine up. Because I think I gave you the one with the higher swing weight. I
oh,
can't
okay.
remember. But that's the one I'm most because I was the biggest of the Pro 4 paddles. My favorite was the Agassi 14 millimeter. And once again, I'm a fan of. I'll have to like make sure I look at the schematics of the Thrive, but I'm a fan uh, of how Yola did their rings. I really like the feel, but
Mhm.
that's once again a Gen 3 paddle. And so I'm really excited to try a normal hybrid shape because Yola doesn't do one.
Mm-mm.
And I'm excited. I'm super excited about that paddle. But
Did I tell you?
our
Did I say how loud this thing is?
you mentioned it had a
Okay,
unique
okay, yeah.
sound.
It's pretty loud. Like it's pretty hollow and loud sounding right off the bat. Yeah,
Like,
that's one thing I noticed.
are you talking about like mod TA sound or
Honestly,
engage or
I never played with a mod, but I've heard a lot of them. This is pretty loud. I think it's pretty high up
interesting?
there, and it's not
Interesting.
crushed or anything. So
Okay.
it's a loud boy here.
All right. Did you have any others that you wanted to cover in this speed round?
Uh, no, no, not no. I think that was as speedy as I could be. But yeah, I think that's about it.
All right. Well, before we move on to the tip of the week, I did have one little thing that maybe get the commenters or the watchers involved, leave some comments. But Wilson, here's a little story time. All right. So on the old Instagram, and if you're not following Matthew K Pickleball on Instagram, guys, come on, help me out. The more followers I have, the more ability I'm able to like get gear and different things to talk about and get Wilson some stuff to I've got some stuff I think coming your way soon. But as you know, I get DMs. People are sliding in there. They're always, saying, Matthew K. Pickleball, you're my favorite reviewer. Oh, Matthew K. Pickleball, thank you so much. No, no one does that. But I do get some messages. And I got one message from a odd account. And I was like, this looks like a phishing thing or something. But, I've always been curious about the bootleg paddles. The paddles you see on Alibaba and all that stuff. And an account reached out. They appear to be the person running an Alibaba store. I've never really I'm afraid to get into the Alibaba stuff because I used to be a 99-cent store addict. Like I love walking into a dollar store and feeling like a millionaire, knowing anything I see I can afford and I can buy. And
I
so
do that too. I still do that.
I do that too. And I've always been afraid to do the Alibaba thing because I know they got the games and you get the coupons. Have you ever seen those TikToks of like the grandpas that are all just in Alibaba wardrobe like this? That would be me. And I can't afford it. So I've never downloaded the app. But someone reached out and I tried to it felt a little fishy, like their communication wasn't the best, but I dug into it a little bit and it looked like someone that ran an Alibaba store. And they were offering to send me some paddles to test out. And their paddles, they sent me a box of paddles.
Wow.
And they're all bootlegs. And so I thought it would be fun if we hit these, do one of our little speed sessions,
Sure.
and hit them and take some notes and report back. So folks, down in the comments, let us know which ones you're most curious about. So right here, I have what looks like a bootleg Yola. Very flat feeling handle. I don't think that's the way a Yola handle feels. And then it's got an unusual pattern in the carbon fiber. But Ben Johns, I guess it's his signature paddle. So we got a Yola. That was 16 millimeter. I mean, we got another Yola, but with a more traditional face. So I don't know what's going on. We got two versions of the Yolas. And then holy smoke. We've got three versions. This one, I don't know the difference between them all. One had one face material. These look to be the same. I'm not sure.
So I guess one's for me then.
Yeah, we'll have to test them out. And I have the real one, so we can hit them side by side. This, I am not exactly sure what this is supposed to be.
I think it's supposed to be the Selkirk.
Right.
New era.
Haven't hit with that one, but it's Arrow Curve,
I believe
Selkirk?
so. Yeah.
Okay. So this is ripping off the Selkirk, potentially. And so I'm actually planning a big Selkirk video. And so
Throw
I'll have
that one in
one
there
set
too.
up. And then we were just talking about
There you go.
this ripoff is a little closer looking.
Does it say Agassi on it?
It does. Yeah, this one's a little closer looking, I feel.
How's the grip on that one?
It's a flat grip, and I don't know if that's the way Yola's grips feel. I can't remember.
Did you have so many grips on top of yours?
Yeah, especially when I tested that series. It actually feels good though. I like this because it really lets you get your continental grip. Anyway, but yeah. So we got 4 Yolas, 1 Selkirk bootleg, but this is the one that I'm most excited about hitting. And I don't know if I've seen another. I'm not super familiar with the bootlegs. I know Pickleball Medicine, he's always ripping open bootlegs and seeing how not like they are in the core, like how janky they are. Not to say, I don't know what these are like. And I don't cut open paddles, so we won't know that. But I have hit with this real paddle enough. I'm very curious what this
Wow.
Honolulu knockoff is. Interestingly, it doesn't have the Bible verse at the top, so I know some folks are don't like that. So I guess they could get a bootleg, but
Do you know anything about it? Like, is it the
I,
NFs,
I
FCs, the
don't.
Gen
Not a
2s?
thing. Not a thing. It doesn't say on here. Um, I don't have a ball in front of me, but yeah. And this handle. So all of them are using that more oval handle. This is not
Mm.
what Honolulu's handles feel like. And so yeah, this will be interesting. And so it says J2NF on it. So
Oh,
that I don't believe. But maybe. But yeah. So crazy. So we got a box of bootlegs, folks. What do you guys think about bootlegs? Yeah, I think it's a problem, to be honest. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of IP theft, and I definitely think the bootlegs are a problem on the used market. I actually saw someone trying to sell a bootleg a few weeks ago, and they did make it clear, but you know what? They called it a replica paddle, and like like how you have the replica really expensive handbags and stuff. And I'm like, I don't think that's a replica. I think that's who knows what's on the inside of that
well,
thing.
at least
But
they're not trying to pass it for the real thing.
I mean,
At
I
least
don't
they're
know if
saying
they.
replica.
Oh, that one. This company,
Yeah.
I don't know how they're doing
No.
it, but
Um,
we'll look into it a little bit. And but I think it'll be fun to hit with them and maybe talk a little bit more about bootlegs, folks. Comment down below. Have you found a bootleg that plays like the real deal? Let us know. I am super curious. Have you gone into the Alibaba world? Let us know. I need some insights on this because this is something I have never dipped my toe into. Have you ever played with a bootleg?
no, no. I personally don't. I try not to. I much rather buy a smaller company's paddle. Number one, there is that reliability. I know what I'm going to be getting. Because honestly, you hear some bootlegs are just like the real thing with the floating core and everything, while there's other ones that are just like a Gen 1 sandwich construction with that
Yeah.
shape and paint job, right? You don't know what you're gonna get depending on the buyer and this sorry, seller and whatnot. But if I buy like a smaller company like a Vatic a Vatic Pro or a Chorus or I don't know whatever
Kiwi
other
Labs.
paddle
I
I
mean, there
have.
are so many
Kiwi Labs.
small companies that are making high quality paddles.
Yep,
I would just go
go
support
with
them.
those. Yeah.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know
that's
what you're
my
gonna
take.
get.
Yeah. And then I don't know. There there are some good Amazon brands as well. Like
Hmm.
that just like X-Pac is like, a good
Yeah.
bargain brand. Uh I don't know how innovative they've been, but yeah, I think the bootlegs they're
Do you
here.
know what I've heard too on Reddit? There's some people who are buying bootlegs and they'll buy the real thing off of Amazon and they'll swap out. Have you heard of
All right,
that?
guys. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's not talk about. I don't
that's
want to give
terrible.
anybody ideas. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's yeah. But also, you gotta be careful buying a paddle, like a name brand paddle off of Amazon
Mm.
um because of what you just said. But also, you don't have to be the company necessarily to sell.
Mm.
So, I mean, that's a problem with
You
Amazon purchasing
can
in
be a third
general.
party, right?
Right. And so, yeah, I mean, I always say go to the website. I even think buying directly from the paddle company or like a Pickleball Central, where you have like an actual warranty and return policy. I think like if you buy it from even like a pro shop, like yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm sure they've got their processes, but
Hmm.
yeah, bootlegs, I don't know, but we're gonna hit with them. It'll be fun. And on that note, Mr. Wilson, as we wrap up, I've been away from pickleball. I've forgotten how to play. I need me some tips. I need to get better. So, Wilson, take it away. What is the tip of the week presented by Bodhi Pickleball. If you're looking for overgrips, if you're looking for tungsten, if you're looking for freaking towels to wipe your sweat away during this heat wave, check out Bodhi Pickleball. Promo code Matthew K will get you a deal with them. And what is the tip? How am I going to get better at pickleball, Mr. Wilson?
Yeah. So one of the main things that people are forget about in pickleball, when people are just trying to buy the nicest, newest paddles and the nicest gear, uh, the thing that is important that people forget is footwork. I noticed even at the Moneyball and when I watch more beginners play, is that when you forget about your footwork, or if your footwork is not up to par, uh, your shots are not as good either. Because number one, the main thing is that you're not where you're supposed to be when you hit the ball. You're not in your strike zone. So my tip of the week is footwork and how you should be getting to where you're gonna hit before you start swinging and hitting the ball. Um, for example, I see it at the money ball. I saw some people. The longer you play, the further into the round robin you get, the more tired you are. You start reaching, and you start your footwork starts lagging, and you're not setting yourself up to hit the ball optimally. You're reaching for it, and that's where all the mistakes come. And same with beginners at the park. They you see them stumbling around and everything while they're trying to move and hit at the same time. And if you look at pros or more advanced players, they position themselves and they're all set up before they even start their motion, their hitting motion. One thing I do to warm up my footwork is one little drill that I do sometimes is what I'll do is I'll warm up by dinking or even hitting from the baseline. But when the ball comes to me, I'll catch it with my offhand. And where you catch the ball with your offhand, that should be kind of where your strike zone is. So then you'll catch it with your offhand, and then you'll just return the ball. You'll hit the ball back to your partner, your opponent on the other side of the net during your warm-ups and drill sessions. And you keep doing that because if you see yourself reaching, then you know you're out of position. You should be catching the ball in front of you, right around the middle of your chest, in the middle of your body, between your legs. You don't want to be catching it, far out on the left or on the right or on top or super low on the ground. You want to be able to catch the ball in front of you. That's where your strike zone is. So if you catch it with your offhand where your strike zone is, and then you can return the ball. That teaches your body to move to the ball before you start hitting. You're not even worrying about hitting the ball. You're worrying about catching the ball in front of you. So a lot of people forget that, and I notice that when people are tired or in beginners. So you got to remind yourself, get to the ball first before you hit the ball.
Very
Yep.
good. So you're saying a drill is you're still holding your paddle, but
Yep.
you are catching the ball with your
With your
hand.
offhand. But you want to
Interesting.
move your body to where the ball will land right in front of you, where
Right. You
you
don't
can
want to be
catch it in
going.
front of you. Yeah,
"Brah."
you don't want to be catching it over here because that's not where you're going to be hitting the ball. You want to be catching it right in front of you where your traditional, typical strike zone is, where you would hit the ball.
And are
So you
you
would catch it with your offhand.
in this drill? Are you throwing the ball back, or are you
No,
hitting it
no,
with?
I just hit it back to my drilling partner. So yeah, you catch it. So that teaches your body to move to the ball so that
Right.
you can catch it.
So you're trying to keep
Yeah.
your hand, your
Yep.
arm stationary and catch the ball, and that's
Yep. In front of
basically
you.
drilling this idea of like shifting your body to where the ball is going.
Hmm.
Very cool.
Moving, whatever. Yeah.
I haven't heard that one, Wilson. I haven't heard that
Yeah.
drill idea. That's an interesting idea. I have heard like the one where people are catching it with like a butterfly net.
Yeah. That works too. That one allows you to not worry about like hitting the ball way off or anything. But that I think that might help more with hitting the center, the sweet spot of the paddle, because
Sure.
that's where the net is going to be, right?
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
I I pick up a lot of these drills by when I'm teaching my mom because she's a beginner, right? And so I try to find ways to explain to her the best way, like the easiest way to explain certain things about pickleball to her.
Got
And
it.
so far, that's one thing that we do to warm up. We'll catch and hit, just so that she knows that she doesn't have to reach for the ball
Right.
and be out of position, you know?
Well, well,
So
well. Thank
catch and
you,
release.
Wilson's.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wilson's mom, for being coached by Wilson and getting us a chance to hear all these good tips. So catch and release. I heard that, Wilson. I repeated it. Catch and release. I like this. All right. Well, you know what, Mr. Wilson? That brings us to the end of episode 18 of Is This a Pickleball Podcast? Once again, I'm your host, Matthew K. Pickleball. I am joined by my co-host, Mr. Wilson. Come on, give us a like, subscribe. Subscribe to us over on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. And don't forget, we've got some giveaways on the channel. We got the PaddleTech GTOC, a Dinkaroo, a Honolulu Next Gen paddle, the Honolulu Pizza Peel, and soon we'll have a Carbon True Foam Genesis 4, all being given away for free on the channel. So make sure you subscribe and there will be more to come. And then I'm going to leave a link down in the description. We've got a GoFundMe for our friend Dwayne. He recently had a pretty severe back injury and he needs some help to cover some of the costs. And so if you have some money you can throw his way, it would be super appreciated. So I'm going to leave a link for that GoFundMe down below. And also, you know what? If you're experiencing a heat wave or going through a difficulty, we do still hope you get to pickle soon. And so that's the mantra of the channel. Just get out there and pickle. But just don't forget, it's about having fun. Do you agree with that, Wilson?
Yes.
You do. All right. Did you guys hear that? That was a big yes. Wilson says have fun. So we hope you get to pickle soon. Just don't forget, it's about having fun.